from the podcast of Fern Silversap. Dear Gary, it's me, Gary! I know it's been a while, but we ended up fighting an immortal lich and were banished to an elemental plane of formless chaos, where our consciousness fought for survival in a primordial soup for what felt like aeons. That's so us. Anyway, remember how Plop was disintegrated? How does that keep happening? Turns out that Plop is alive, sort of. At least the other half. Halves of them are still alive? And recruited a ragtag team with special skills to try to recover their other halves, and ended up getting into the material plane. Everyone seems none worse for the wear, besides the memories of complete ego collapse in the slime dimension. But that's neither here nor... Speaking of memories, Doc is just as mentally sound as he always was. Turns out that reality is made of several dimensions that are stacked on top of each other and exist in space like the layers of a croissant. And even though we jump dimensions, we technically occupy the same space as Baba Yaga's hut, just in a different plane. Now that we're in the material plane, no matter where we go, Doc won't lose his memories, because promises don't have magical powers here. If Doc goes back to the Feywild, where his great-great-great-great-grandfather is, no guarantees though, with this in mind, Doc decided to
do a bunch of research and figure out some stuff, maybe dabble a tiny bit necromancy, don't tell anyone. And I'm going to start looking for doors to all those different dimensions and find whatever essence is left of Ektos, gather him up, put him in a person, preferably something with a penis, because he's the only man I was ever that close to who didn't fuck. And bring it back to life.
Damn.
And then pop back to the Feywild, say hi to my little sister that we rescued, and live out my short rabbit life. A lot of rabbiting.
May J's here too. Remember how she got her shape-shifting powers from a nature goddess that made her fight that spirit bear? Well, when we got back to the material plane, it seems like she can't wear bear anymore. Something about being a goo for countless lifetimes. Maybe she's all shape-shifted out. But it's not all bad. In the winter, she started having vivid dreams. And guess who she saw in them? Torsten, where he's been hibernating. They're able to communicate somehow through the collective unconsciousness of all bears. May J decided to
become a mascot. Be a bear mascot all the time.
Nice. Can't stop, won't stop. Being a bear.
Plop calls himself Vengeance now. And the Rakenku. Again, it's complicated. Thankfully, Leary kept Plop's ashes, and Vengeance is taking them and setting out on a quest to find Nimbus, who originally cast the spell that split Plop's mind and body. Maybe to help perform a true resurrection. Nimbus might be hard to track down, but last I heard,
he and Puck had escaped into the magical theater, disappeared off of this out of the Feywild. Who knows where it went? But they're happy.
Leary really took it hard that Ektos and Plop died, and everyone was trapped in the slime dimension. She was in her winter form for a long time afterwards. Certainly being reunited with some more after all that time cheered her up, and she started getting into the wedding business as a cleric. Turns out when you live in a plane where promises aren't binding, people are really insecure and they compensate by spending a ton of money on elaborate weddings. She still can't be around dough, because we used to be dough beings, so she leaves some more to handle the catering side of it. He's quite an accomplished baker at this point, especially now that the Baker's Guild oven is operational again. Such nice people at the Baker's Guild. We owe our survival to our new ally, Sea Weakness.
Yeah, I was just singing, chilling in the park as I do, and I had this wonderful little idea that was brought upon me, and I was super gung ho about it, and because I love sneaking into things, it's good stuff to write about in songs. So I went along with them through this little journey and was able to do some more tarot readings, which I loved. And now I have some good stuff to write about. So.
As for me, Gary, I never existed. I'm trying out this new form of communication called a podcast. It's where we inscribe a message into a pod and cast it into a teleportation circle. It's a modification of Galder's Speed Courier that will hopefully let us communicate between planes. It's still in the experimental phase, but I hope it finds you. It's been too long. I miss the Feywild, and I'm still getting used to living in a place where words aren't magical. People can break promises and contracts without any consequences. But I'll keep in touch, Gary. I promise.
Yay! Thank you, Kenji. Bye.